Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Roundup. This is another episode of the Roundup. Today, I'm starting a special series with um, a special series called On the Field, where we take an inside look at the members who have marched in the 2024 season. And today, I have a very special guest. His name is Wiley Jones. He is a member of the Connecticut Hurricanes. He marched on the baseline. All right, Wiley, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, excited to be here.
Awesome. So you were marching the Hurricanes. How was your 24th season?
Overall, it was really great. It was joining DCI compared to DCA was a completely different experience. Um, Obviously Lucas Oil was amazing to perform in, experiencing finals overall, watching all the different groups. And Hurricanes is just a great place to be overall. So I had a really great time.
That's awesome. So how did you get involved with music and drum corps?
So, I kind of have music in my family. No one else has ever marched a drum corps, but both my parents, a lot of people in my family marched in the UMass marching band. Um, and I joined indoor percussion my freshman year of high school just because everyone in the band did. And it's kind of how I got involved. I just started watching stuff on YouTube, really getting interested in it, learned traditional grip, and just grinding now.
Very cool. So are you in college, I'm guessing?
I'm not actually. I'm a junior in high school.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So is this your first season in marching in the Hurricanes?
It was actually my second this year.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
So what makes drum corps special to you?
Um, well, first of all, I think it's very unique, especially from everything else in music and in the world overall. It's just like this huge, inclusive, fun community of people that all love the same thing and we all bond over it. And there's just so many different aspects that contribute to these shows, and so much hard work and dedication is put into it, and it all always pays out. And I think the fact that it's so like exclusive, I guess it's really DCI is really the only place you can find stuff like this in the whole world, like these huge marching bands, this powerful brass, and it's just a great community.
That's awesome. So are you involved in your high school marching band then?
I am. This is actually the first year we're fielding a show for like a fall marching band season,
Oh,
but
cool.
we've always done indoor percussion.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
So I know you were talking about when we started this about the DCI merger. How was your experience through marching last year in DCA to this year in marching DCI?
Um, well, I think overall it was just a huge energy shift in the whole core. Um, I think there's a huge family aspect to the Hurricanes that I think is very hard to find in different cores. Um, People love sticking around for a really long time, and um, it's just great. So I think we all really came together and like focused on this common goal. And it really did pay off, especially since the Hurricanes, we switched. We were in 2023. We were competing in DCA Open Class, um, and then this year we were in World Class All Age.
Now, is that
Um,
switch due to the amount of members you have, or how does that work?
um, well, I'm not 100% sure. I think the main thing is like overall size of the core, but I think it's a success, like how successful the core is, because we won Open Class 2 times in a row, 2022 and 2023. So that definitely contributed to the bump.
Oh, that's awesome. So, what are your thoughts on just marching in the Hurricanes as a whole? What is the culture? What is um the vibe at the Hurricanes as a whole?
Yeah, so like I said, it's very like family. based is what I'd say. It kind of feels like, I don't know, it kind of has that small business vibe going on, if you know what I mean. Like, everyone's really close, everyone knows each other from different things, for example, just like musical arts conference, which is the Connecticut indoor percussion, kind of circuit. Um, so everyone kind of knows each other already from that. We compete against each other in that. But at the core specifically, I think everyone really loves to come together for, like I said, this common goal. And and the tone is really great. We all it's a hardworking core. There's definitely a lot of fun involved. Um there's always a great show design which pushes us to do the best with the show that we can. Um yeah, I think the hurricanes definitely changed my life for the better. It's kind of hard to put into words, I think, but very inclusive, everyone's so friendly. I came in 2023, actually mid-season, which we can talk about later, but um I felt accepted right away. Felt like I fit in perfect, and just a really welcoming vibe, really hardworking vibe. Um and we know how to balance fun and seriousness, I think.
That's cool. So you were saying that you came in your first season halfway through the season. How did that work for you?
So So I go to this place, Shelton High School in Connecticut, and there was actually a DCA show being hosted there, and it was, I guess you could say, like, maybe not a home show, but it was close to where Hurricanes is based. And it was at that school. So I was like, oh, I'm getting more involved in drum corps. I'm getting more interested in this. I might as well go to the show. It'll be a great experience. My visual instructor at Shelton High was actually an inline tech there, I think. I think they were an inline tech. They might have just been marching. Anyway, they were there, and they're like, hey, I said hi to them, and they're like, hey, there's this base 3 hole open. I'm not exactly sure what happened. The base 3 ended up quitting. This is this is the day before July 4th. This is July 3rd. And, they're like, hey, you should come in. There's a base 3 hole. You played snare and indoor. I bet you can do it. It'll be great. And I was kind of skeptical at first just because I'd never played bass before. I had one season of indoor under my belt, on snare. And it was really hard, kind of to get everything going. I kind of went the next day to rehearsal, and, I kind of just observed. The bass tech took me over and saw what I could do. Um, and what I did was like purely based off of like bass lines I've seen on YouTube, and I didn't really know what I was doing. But I had went away the next weekend because it was already a pre-planned like vacation I had, and me and my dad's a musician and a marching percussionist, so he helped me out learning all this music, and it was really hard. Never playing bass before. I played bass 3 that year, and I kind of just grinded it out, showed up at rehearsal, and I had to compete against one other person for the spot, and I ended up getting it. And when I actually got in the corps, again, like I said, they were very welcoming. Um, the drumline overall and the bass line, great culture, great players. Um, and it was much easier of a transition than I thought it would be. And the hard work was definitely there. It was not easy learning. It was the first time I'd marched on an outdoor field, first time I'd played bass, marched like sideways, I guess you could call it, bass marching technique. And it was a hard transition musically, but I really just kept stuck my mind to it, and it paid off in the end. I loved it so much.
That's really cool. I like how you just kind of went for it and you're like, I'll give it all I got and see what I can do. And here you are in your finishing your second year of drum corps, and it's cool to see how like this is one of the goals I had for the podcast about bringing members on to share their experiences and why they love drum corps, why they do it, and why it matters to them. And it's really cool to hear that.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of unique experiences you hear on here.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how was your championships experience? Can you walk me through like everything from like when you left to just the whole flow of everything and how DCI has helped you through all that?
Um, Lucas Oil specifically.
Yeah, just in general, like I know you had a soundtrack, and how did that all work out?
So we got there and we had a rehearsal day. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I think DCI chose our hotel. And I'm not gonna lie, not the best experience there. But again, that's not completely what this is about. Um, and Our sound check in Lucas Oil went great. It was so surreal walking into that building. You know, I'm an NFL fan. I've seen people playing it my whole life, and then becoming a drum corps fan, just watching all these like unimaginable groups and drum lines perform in it. I would absolutely never have thought that I was performing in that just a year after I had even like been introduced to the activity. Um, the sound, the kind of sound environment we had there specifically on the field, you can definitely hear like the reverb, especially on stuff like big horn line hits or like rim shots or just like loud stuff overall. You can definitely hear the reverb, but you really just have to lock in on the rest of the drum line and not to focus on it. Um and it's not too much of a distraction than performing in a normal like outdoor environment. It's a dome, so it's covered. Um I think that the the biggest throw off was the actual like visual environment we were in. Um like visually just seeing like tens of thousands of seats. Obviously the sound check, many not there was like no one there. It was just our staff watching from the stands. But um the big jumbotron, and that was actually something that our staff kind of harped on a lot. Don't look at the jumbotron in the middle of the performance. You'll get screwed up, and which it was kind of hard not to do. It would be so cool to just like see yourself up there. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was a great field to march on. It was pretty much like any other AstroTurf field, but really no complaints there, honestly.
That's awesome. Now, did DCI talk to you guys while the transition was going on about how it was going to work, or how did all of that information come down to the marchers themselves?
Um, Honestly, I think towards like the end of the 2023 season, I think it was more of like a rumor. Um, and not everybody was completely sure. Like, is there still gonna be a open world inside of All Age? Um, like, will we be going to finals in Indianapolis? Like, it was it was definitely an excitement thing while also trying not to get our hopes up at first. But um I think open house is when it was officially announced that we're like part of like Drum Corps International now, and like this is a whole different game now. And you could definitely see that shift in the core, even our performance.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So, what are your plans for next year? Are you gonna stay in DCA, or are you gonna try and go to DCI Corps?
Um, so my plan kind of all season was to audition at Spartans next year. Um, and I'm still gonna go to a camp or two. I don't think I'm gonna march there though, because the feeling after performing with these people that I consider close family, after performing in Lucas Oil, that was a feeling that I don't think I've felt in my life. The power I felt, the love I felt in that moment, it was absolutely amazing. And after that, I was like, I can't leave this, at least for now. Like, this is such a good environment, and I don't, at least at this age, I have so much time. I don't want to risk losing the Hurricanes at this point.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that, like, even though you have that opportunity to go to, like, a world class or open class, that the Hurricanes have made such an impact on your life that you're like, hey, I want to keep marching with this group. I want to see where it's going to go next year, the year afterwards. And, like, for me as a fan, I think it's just exciting to see where, like, where the All Age activity is going just because of this merger. And we're got new groups coming in and more possibly being announced, and I'm just excited to see where it's all gonna go.
Exactly. I think this was kind of like maybe this year was kind of like a test run for this merger. And I think it paid off really well. I think DCI pretty much uh gave us all the opportunities that all age cores wanted. I think we were treated pretty well, and I think it'll keep going pretty well.
Yeah, I was so happy to be able to watch you guys on Flow. It was just really great to see you guys and just all the cores and the award ceremony. It was just really great to see.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Have you heard any changes for what's going to happen next year at all yet?
Um, I haven't really heard anything, especially about like actual like admin stuff. Um, yeah, I'm just not sure on that.
Okay, cool. So, what is the audition process for the Hurricanes?
So normally starting in around late November, we have a camp, kind of like an open house thing, where at least last year, again, I wasn't there for 2023, but last year, like it was a lot of people showed up, especially for drumline. I think there were probably about like 20 people auditioning on snare, probably about 10 tenors and like 15 basses auditioning. Um, and a lot of people ended up not showing up for the next camp, just because I think the open house is just kind of for a learning experience for a lot of people, not an actual audition. But after the open house, it kind of becomes more of like people that completely want to dedicate to this and actually want to march. Um, and it's pretty much a process of just like for the drumline at least. Um, there's nothing solo really. Like you don't have like a solo audition. You kind of just play your warm ups and some show music with the whole group, and we do a lot of visual basics during the camps. And if you're cut, they let you know, and or they offer you a contract. And I think that process of actually like setting the line and giving out contracts probably started around the last like January camp. Um, yeah, that's around when the lines are set.
Oh, cool. So it's basically an audition from you're basically in, even though it's not officially auditions, it's auditions until like the end of January. You're saying then?
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much when stuff like you're either cut or you get a contract.
Okay, cool. Um, what are you looking forward to most next season?
Um, Oh, there's so much to look forward to. I think honestly, right now, what I'm looking forward to the most is hearing our show for the first time. Because I remember that feeling last year, being so hyped up, so excited to perform this show. It was just amazing, high intensity show all the way through. And I think our drumline arranger Dan Shack, he's really talented. He writes some amazing stuff. Some really fun beats in there, and I'm just looking forward to playing the show music. I think I'm planning on auditioning on snare this year.
Oh, that's awesome. So, what advice would you give to prospective members that are looking to join the Hurricanes, or even DCI All Age as a whole?
Um, I think that you kind of should just have a nothing to lose mindset. I think it's definitely getting your playing ability out there. It's getting your hands out there. It's getting your name out there. Even just going to a camp or two, and at least at the Hurricanes, I'm sure this is kind of the culture with everyone else. Um, it's judgment free. Like, we understand everyone's at different levels. And our staff is really dedicated to building people's skill and not just looking at someone and saying, "Oh, you're not at the level of these four people in the center of the line, so we're gonna cut you." No, Um, I think it's more of a if you have if you show the ability that you want to work hard and that you can apply instruction fast and easily. Um, as long as you're showing that you're hardworking, dedicated, and a fast learner, um, I think you're pretty set.
Okay, cool. And I know, how was like the show? Like, I know you had a shorter season last year. How did that affect the rehearsal process of everything?
What do you mean, like the actual show itself?
No, that you because you had less time to like because you had to do championships the week of when you guys had it this year versus last year when you had it
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Um, Overall, just faster paced. I think we definitely the drill learning process was definitely faster. Um, we I think at first we kind of focused more on learning our whole show um quicker, and then we focused on cleaning. And again, I can't completely speak on it because I came in halfway through the season my first year. But yeah, I think overall just learning the material faster first and then focusing on cleaning.
Okay, sweet. Um, do you know when open house or the audition camps are for this year?
I actually don't. That hasn't been announced yet.
Okay, okay. Any closing thoughts before we end recording?
Um, Honestly, I just think that uh, I encourage anyone that's thinking about this activity or even thinking about the Hurricanes to come on in, give it a look. Keep researching it, keep grinding, and it's definitely everything is worth it. It's very tedious, very hard, but the experience, the feeling you'll have after coming off the field at Lucas Oil is like no other.
That's incredible, Wiley. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your experience with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Hope you have a great night.
You too.
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of The Roundup. If you can also find us on YouTube at The Roundup Podcast. There, please like and subscribe and comment below if you like what you hear. Also, if you'd be interested in learning more about participating in the podcast as a featured guest, please email me at doxenrider@gmail.com. That is DOXENREIDER@gmail.com. Or you can comment below on YouTube or on Spotify. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and have a great day.